At the end of December last year, I attempted a challenge, and this art challenge is coming to a close. And instead of just finishing it off, I've decided to do something different and involve my YouTube channel in my usual Instagram shenanigans. If you haven't seen my Instagram, this is a plug to go check it out, because I do tons of cool art stuff on there most of the time. But first, we've got business to attend to. Hey there all of you creators, this is me, Good Old Teach, and welcome back to my channel yet again. And today I'm going to be showcasing how I've created this art challenge from scratch, really. This is going to be different from the usual speed paint challenges, but I think I've gotten the hang of how to actually do it. Well, somewhat. This entire video is an amalgamation of two speed paints that I did separately. One of Optimus Prime and one of Megatron. Now during this video I'm going to be going over the lores of the other characters and explain how I've been progressing through this challenge on Instagram. If you haven't seen the others, I suggest you go check them out on my Instagram. It'll not be linked down below because YouTube is funny sometimes, but it'll be linked on the channel somewhere, really. And before you ask, yes, I do have a Patreon. Yes, I do. I am thinking about commissions. It's a whole other thing. But I'm gonna get into this first. And of course, for both sides, I will be explaining the respective teams, the Autobots and the Decepticons. Now, if you don't mind, just sit back, relax, and enjoy the speed paint. And commentary, of course. Man, oh man. I don't even know where to begin with this. I guess I should just go ahead and just start with where this idea came from and why I'm doing it. I guess the where it came from just came from the idea that, I did draw Optimus Prime once, and I wondered what happens if I draw the rest of them. And then I thought instantly, maybe drawing the rest of them isn't a good idea. So I limited myself to 5 Autobots and 5 Decepticons, really. As for the why, I feel like, I just like drawing Transformers for some reason. Even though I'm one of the artists that don't like drawing machines too well, the Transformers have really good character designs, and that's something I could actually work with compared to anything else. And by the start of it, I was really excited, and dreading the rest of the Autobots and Decepticons. You could not imagine how glad I was when I finished Megs, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's get right into Optimus Prime, shall we? Now, I'm not really sure where to begin into explaining all of this. I guess I'll just begin from the first Autobot to the 5th Autobot, and it will make sense in due time, I guess. So, where should I start? Oh wait, I know. Ooh, I forgot to mention that this was supposed to be a vote. Many people get to submit their Transformer and voted them in so I could actually draw them, but not a lot of activity on my profile calls for that, so I changed my mind and just turned it into an actual vote instead. But it didn't stop me from getting the first commission out here now. This first commission is Jazz. First Lieutenant of the Autobots and leader of Special Operations, Jazz is the ideal robot to bring on missions that desperately need a positive atmosphere every once in a while. And before I move on to his accessories, let me talk about his design for like a quick few minutes. What I did here is I went with that, Class A style, Most of the style of this challenge that I was shooting for is 80s look. Well, 80s fashion, really. But not like so much as fashion, more like just 80s style characters, I wasn't sure if adding his shirt collar was a good choice, but it grew on me after a while. And apparently Jazz's personality is that he likes human culture. That's one of his personalities, not his main personality, but just one of his personalities. He likes human culture anyway, and its music, basically. So, that perfectly segues into his accessories, really. As for the accessories, I gave Jazz a music player and his signature weapon. The music player is titled Jambud Music Player. G52 Jambud Music Player. A reference to, I did this as a reference, but I'm not really sure what it was referenced to. Just pretend it made sense, and become a theorist in the comments if you can. And his signature weapon is called the Peace Meister 5. Now that one I can actually explain. Meister, as in his other language name. if that makes sense. I don't know, I'm having a hard time explaining these. I couldn't have imagined it, but Jazz is a worthy pick for the first of the Autobots, and we're only getting started from here on out. Now we can segue into our next Autobot, which is, well, by far the most iconic. And I mean, as soon as I just put him on the pole, there was no way he was going to lose in any way, shape, or form. And of course, I'm talking about Bumblebee. Now, Bumblebee is the little brother of the Autobots and aims to prove that he can be more than meets the eye. Eager for battle and skilled in combat, he's always ready to prove his worth as a hero. And of course, I did write these descriptions based on like how I perceive the characters and a little bit of research here and there. So everything I describe these characters as is basically my vision for the characters. Now, of course, before I get into his accessories, let's talk about his design. And I know what you're thinking. Do you not see this man in his bomber jacket? Like, I wanted to give this guy the bomber jacket because I feel like it would just give him an 80s feel. Like he's like a Marty McFly type of character or something like that. I don't know. And I did try my best to incorporate the vehicle parts. Speaking of vehicle parts, no, I didn't draw the vehicle modes for the characters. Like I said, I'm not good at machines, but I am good at character design when I do it. Now, moving on to his accessories, I gave him his dual arm blades because I didn't know what else to give him. I convinced myself that everyone needs 2 accessories, really. And of course I gave him his signature hand cannon, Lapidarian hand cannon. That name I custom made because, yeah, so there was literally no name for it, so I just gave it a custom name because why not? I enjoyed that. So, unexpectedly, he's the second pick for the Autobots. I mean, unexpected still, but still expected nonetheless, I guess. And anyways, let's move on to the next Autobots, and this one, was a chonker, really. Well, of course, I'm talking Ironhide, the third pick for the Autobots. Weapons specialist and one of the oldest Autobots to join the cause, Ironhide is the toughest Autobot you could ever have on your team. Oh, I'm sorry, he's one of the toughest, if not the toughest, Autobots. He prefers actions more than words to get the mission finished no matter the challenge. Even though he's action-based, he's always there for your internal troubles. No matter the size of them, no matter what, Ironhide will complete his missions. Now I'm going to talk about his design. Of course, I gave him the paw stash simply because, well, it's Ironhide. Did we all forget who this guy used to be? And of course, I gave him that one scar that, movie Ironhide had because I think it would be, like, cool to give Ironhide some personality compared to G1. I was tempted to make him, like, all black, but I had to go accuracy and just give him the red, and I think it works well for him here. Now moving on to his 2 big accessories, we have the Liquidizer and the Atomizer. Of course, his twin shotguns. And you already know why I gave him the shotguns now. Come on. You can't have Ironhide without, like, a little bit of firepower, I couldn't really help myself. But yeah, he's worthy of the third pick of the Autobots. Now, moving on to kind of an awkwardly drawn Autobot in my opinion, but still a decent one nonetheless. Moving on to Wheeljack. Yep, the 4th pick of the Autobots. Now, of course, reading up on his lore, I had to come up with something new and unique, so here goes. Wheeljack is the go-to bot when it comes to bringing creativity to the battlefield. His inventions bring both calm and storm to any unsuspecting foes coming before us. Genius brain and quick with the blades, there is no challenge that can prove very difficult for Wheeljack. Just make sure his inventions don't explode or anything. I wrote that to be a little quirky. As for Wheeljack's design, I think I did a decent job trying to replicate something that's, already perfect and doesn't need to be changed. I did give him some goggles on top, and I did give him a scarf, because his alt vehicle mode, I do imagine, has a flag tied to it, which kind of goes hard, I guess, but not really sure if that works as, design-wise. Overall, I think it ties together, really. Moving on to his accessories, I gave him 3 accessories this time. Mainly because I really wouldn't know what to do with the arm cannon. Plus, I already gave him something he needs for, because he's like supposed to be a brainiac, really. Of course, he comes with his Shinko cannon, an arm cannon that basically detaches and reattaches to his shoulder, basically. And of course, I gave him the dual katanas because, I mean, I thought they were cool in Prime, and I didn't even know if he had them at first. So I just incorporated him, or included them here because, well, I think they're cool. And all. That's what I think. And of course, I gave him the Health-O-Matic, a healing gun that heals anyone on the battlefield. He brings it with him everywhere just in case if someone gets hurt because of his crazy inventions. And he did build this himself, which is pretty good. This is probably a twisted time dimension, but I did provide descriptions for the weapons that come with these Transformers, but I didn't read them, so I don't think I'm gonna keep reading them. I'm just gonna come up with my own interpretations of what these weapons are capable of. If you guys don't mind, that is. Anyways, we're nearing the end of Autobots, so we're moving on to the final pickup of the Autobots, RC. Now, her character lore is kind of limited. I was trying to go for the original G1 and not, like, you know, just do something modern, because I'm trying to do something, you know, 80s themed. But I think I did a good job trying to scrounge up together. She doesn't even have a motto or anything, so I just worked with the best of what I got. That's a fun fact if you didn't know that. But anyways, her description reads, "Don't underestimate RC because of her gender, for she is more cunning and tactical than any others care to admit. A communications expert along with being a skillful tactician, RC always has many skills up her sleeves to help others in battle. She strives to be the very best of the best no matter the cost, though she's always reminded to keep a cool head so she doesn't lose herself in her visions." Now, explaining her design, of course, the inspiration for her design goes to, drumroll please, 80s anime. Yep, 80s anime is what inspired this character design. Yeah, I'm not sure if RC is like the most kawaii character, but I think it suits her more than anything else, really. That's why I provided that anime filter over the first slide on the Instagram, because that's what it looks like, really. In terms of her alt mode, I was struggling between bike and car, but I think I went for a sports car, and I think she looks nice as a sports car anyway, so yeah, there's that. Moving on to her weapons, it's a mix of whatever lore works. I gave her some twin guns called the Twin Bettys, and yeah, there's just a pair of twin guns because, well, I mean, I had got the feeling that she dual wields, so I think it looks pretty cool, really. And of course I gave her a whip called Star Blades. Oh, why a whip? I have no idea, but it looks cool, really. I don't know, I just feel like she could be so elegant with a whip, you know? And since she's always trying to prove herself as the best, she'll need a reliable weapon for that. And that's what makes her the best final pick for the Autobots. And I was so glad people voted her, because I wanted to do a female Transformer in the midst of all this. And that's about it for the rest of the Autobots. I guess I should end this off by explaining Optimus Prime as soon as I'm done, which is in a few minutes. So I guess I'll explain a bit of Optimus Prime. Now, I'm not going to talk about his lore just yet, because I feel as though I should save that for when the art piece is complete. But I will, however, talk about his character design. Now, there's a theme with these Transformers character designs. I have their skin color match their, I have their skin colors showing on their arms at all times for some reason, and I gave most of them fingerless gloves. Because, I don't know, I just like giving characters fingerless gloves, and I just like to have a theme with my creations. As for why I don't use the line tool as often as I use the other tools, I just wanted to give it, you know, some sense of, I just want to make it look organic, pretty much. Yes, I'm aware that I put stripes on everything, but can you blame me? I love a good stripes. and especially so when they look good on Prime. Of course, I do struggle on like putting some stripes on here and there just to see what worked, but they did work, indeed. And of course the shading goes the same. There is a specific method that I've been applying to all of the Autobots and Decepticons compared to them, obviously. Of course I can't display it here because for some reason when I go into full screen on this application, the tab just straight up, hides itself, and it's like the only way I could do that. So I had to awkwardly, unfold the screen so I can actually put the finishing touches. But aside from that, I don't think there's anything else I can say about this, so here's Optimus Prime. Introducing Optimus Prime, the leader of the Autobots. Thought to be long lost to the war. No longer Orion Pax, Optimus Prime arises, casted in metal and steel. Optimus represents the pinnacle of leadership and willpower. He instills hope into all who think they've lost the war on or off the battlefield. To stop the Decepticons' plot from taking storm, Optimus, along with 5 Autobots, must voyage to Earth to uncover its long-forgotten secrets, to defeat the Decepticons and restore peace to Cybertron. No matter the cost, the Autobots will stop at nothing to save their home and win the war. Forged with his revival, Optimus comes equipped with his signature weapons to light our darkest hours. His C-84 Ambassador Laser Blaster and Energon Axe are filled with an immense power like no other weapons before them. Prime proves he's the chosen one, with the matrix of leadership, the life-giving life force of all primes, long before. I honestly think I had really fun drawing Optimus Prime this time around. Compared to last time, I think I did an improvement. And if you enjoyed thus far, then please be sure to do what you do. But thanks for listening to me rambling about the Autobots for a few minutes, and now let us move on to the Decepticons. Okay, now going into this, I'm going to, basically do the exact same explanations except for the Decepticon picks for this art challenge. Now, of course, like I said, this began as a voting challenge, and only one character got voted in, but unexpectedly, it was the first character I wasn't expecting to actually get first. And that first character is Starscream. Unexpectedly, the first pick of the Decepticons. Second in command of the Decepticons, Starscream is the ideal pick for those looking to take on any Autobots in the skies. With his secret fleet, Starscream will stop at nothing to claim the mission success. But be careful, for his ambitions to overthrow Megatron make him extremely untrustworthy among other Decepticons. I'd watch my back if I were Megatron. Cute, at the time I thought, Starscream would be threatened, but man. Now, as for his design, over time, I wasn't sure about the mustache and stuff, but I actually kind of grown attached to the mustache, and I kind of want that to be his main look, because it's unique. I am concerned that I made his head smaller than it should have been, but it's fine, really. The red and blues were kind of hard to incorporate in his design overall, but I did manage to put some stuff together and just, made Starscream, really. I did try to put some unique elements and try to make him look like an F-15. I think that's what he was originally. Or like a modified version of it, but yeah, I think that's what I did. As for his accessories, I kind of got really lazy here, and I didn't really know a lot of accessories Starscream has, aside from the crown and the shoulder pads that, came with him when he overthrowed Megatron and just threw him into space and took over the Decepticons that one time in the Transformers the movie. So I gave him 3 Energon cubes, as a reference to that time the Decepticons got really drunk off Energon. Yes, that actually happened. I'm not joking, you have to look that up. That is the funniest scene I've ever seen in my entire life. I'm ashamed that I didn't grow up in the 80s to watch that as a kid. Kid me would have loved that. But moving on from that, yeah, Starscream's a very random pick for the Decepticons, and I think that's fitting to be the first, I guess. Now for another unexpected pick. Of course, this was the time where I did the polls, and yeah, the most voted was, like, unexpected, really. And so the second pick for the Decepticons is Shockwave. Now, I don't know why back then, but I really wanted to draw Shockwave. And, yeah, I think I did mid at best, but he looks great, I will say. Very wide, though, but still great nonetheless. Once thought destroyed during the war, Shockwave was seemingly reborn into a new powerful essence of unknown purpose. His origin remains a mystery to even Megatron himself, but always remains loyal to the Decepticon cause no matter how dire the situation is. As a living supercomputer, he will always conduct research and experiments even at the expense of others, and even himself. Yep, that's the description I wrote for him. He's a psychopath. And don't worry, to all my Transformers fans, he is also misogynistic. More accurate. Now before we move on to his accessories, I gotta talk about the designs. And of course, this one I kind of just, I kind of pooped the bed a little here on the canon part. Because I spent all of my time designing him on his hair. Yes, that is hair. It's kind of like a brain poking out of his head because he has so much information. It's a design choice that I made, and I'm kind of proud of it still. Even though it's like, I'm pretty sure it's like, I don't know, tickle someone the wrong way, but yeah, I think that's good. I think I made him look Samoan by accident, but yeah, that's the Shockwave design yeah, pretty much. Oh, and you remember when I said accessories? I lied. I was not able to come up with accessories for him. Though I did make it able to detach his brain from his head, if you wanted, like, accurate Shockwave. I mean, that's an accessory, I guess. And of course, he's a good pick for the secondary of the Decepticons. And of course, moving on to another unexpected Decepticon. It's like I had like luck of, well, whatever, pretty much. And of course, this one is just Arachnid. And yes, I know Arachnid wasn't a part of the original 80s, of course, but the people have voted and they have spoken, and there were not that many iconic Decepticons who were like, you know, not carbon copies of already existing Autobots and other Decepticons. So I was trying to, you know, avoid designing the same character again through a different person. But enough of that, I'm going to talk about Arachnid now. Collector turned brutal enforcer and the eyes in the sky, Arachnid aims to strike fear into the sparks of her enemies. Less trustworthy than even Starscream, she is more than willing to kill her own men and or leave her commanding officers behind if it means getting what she wants. I'm pretty sure I butchered that description horribly. Like, I'm literally having it in front of me and I'm just reading these. But yeah, talking about her design, I don't know. I feel like her spider legs are smaller than they should be. But they're still able to actually, you know, do stuff. And fun fact, those spider legs actually have eyes in them. Like, I made them gleam, so that means that she can see out of them, which is unsettling. Of course, her alt mode is a helicopter because, of course it is. Why not? I had to incorporate either, you know, original original Black Arachnia or Arachnid. So I combined both characters, and I thought maybe that's the right thing to do, even though they aren't really the same character. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And yeah, I think I slayed with this design, really. She looks beautiful. I gave her the Spider-Man lenses as a joke, and it just stuck for some reason. In terms of accessories, this one's kind of a lame excuse. I just linked a code to a website that doesn't really exist on the bottom. Like, as if, like, you'd find that, like, as a kid, you'd find that and then you just type that in on an 80s website and you just, unlock the keys to whatever the heck you can find in the archives. But yeah, that's her accessory, and that's, like, the lamest part. What's not lame is the next person. Now, this one is controversially stated that I wanted to do this character since the challenge started, and I low-key wanted them to win. And I'm so glad that they did, because, man, I went all out on this design. And of course, I'm talking about the superior, Autobot's inferior himself, Soundwave. The fourth pick of Decepticons. Right-hand man to Megatron, as well as being the communications officer for the Decepticons, Soundwave is proven as the most valuable ally to the Decepticon regime. Soundwave seeks to follow Megatron's every command and stops at nothing to fulfill his mission. Though he's only a communications officer, he's actually the most dangerous Decepticon, so I'd make sure I'm not a target if I were you. Soundwave, though having many cassettes, only comes with 2 cassettes, apparently. Before you ask why I didn't do the others, I was willing to do the others, but I wanted to give Soundwave a weapon, so I chose 2 of his most used cassettes. That, and I relied on a tier list, and yep, it was no surprise who would actually, win that. Before I talk about his cassettes, though, they do count as accessories, so I'll have to keep them weight. But I want to talk about Soundwave's design. Now, I was, dodgy about his proportions, but I managed to pull it off, really. I incorporated the red, the blues, the yellows. I did all of that great. I think his chest piece is perfect, even though I probably could have added a little more details. But the more I spend on that, the more the project would be delayed, and I wouldn't want that. This man is a unit of a communications officer, really. Like, when you look at him, it's like super duper chonky. I like what I did with this. And now moving on to his accessory. The most important accessories, his cassettes. Now, I only gave him 2 cassettes, like I mentioned before. 2 cassettes being Ravage and Laserbeak. His most trusted cassettes. Ravage, of course, serving as the fierce hunter. And Laserbeak serving as a small spy. Together, these 2 will, devastate the battlefield, like, unknowingly. I don't know what I said there, but we're gonna continue. And of course I gave him his AMP sniper cannon. I made it a sniper because I feel as though Soundwave would want to sneak around and take out anyone. It would, not make sense if Soundwave were to miss a target, but I want to make Soundwave as powerful as possible, in my opinion. And of course, this is what makes Soundwave a great 4th pick for the Decepticons. Now, this upcoming one, the quality drop is kind of, apparent when you see it, but just know that I was supposed to, change the image size, and I forgot to do that, so the lines are really, really thick. And I only realized after I was finished, and that made me so mad, and I had no way to start over, so I just went with it. But this next one, Barricade. Now, of course, for his lore, I did incorporate both his movie lore and his G1 lore. Just kind of make it different. So, here goes. Let me know how I did. Former race gang member turned brutal bruiser. Barricade doesn't believe in second chances. If you mess up, you are as good as dead to him. Barricade is always ready to look for an excuse to fight, head-on, foes. Even if the odds are stacked against him, his integrity and rough exterior makes him one of the most valuable assets of the Decepticon cause. Kind of like a boring description if I do say so myself, but that's the best I could actually give him. Now, of course, I'm going to talk about his design. Like I said, I incorporated both his racing gang leader persona and his Bayverse movie, Bayverse movie designs. Because that's the most iconic thing you can actually do. Movies actually changed the Barricade's coding formula, really. I mean, sure, essence of the original are, you know, there, but it is what it is. I was able to work with whatever I had. I did, however, debate on whether or not he's a Japanese police car or an American, but I settled on American police car because, yeah, though I do have elements of the Japanese just in there somewhere, which is my mistake, really. But I think it looks cool nonetheless. Now moving on to his accessories, he comes with dual Punishers, his, dual, fisting weapons for, brutal enforcement combat, and of course his revolver, his Runner 87 revolver. As another reference to his original appearance and stuff. Here was when I was glad I was able to give a Decepticon normal accessories for once, because I was struggling on a loop of accessories, non-accessories for the Decepticons. It was like a terrible day for the Decepticons to just exist, really. But yeah, this makes him a great final pick for the Decepticons. Now, of course, I gotta talk about Megatron. Specifically, I think I should talk about his, character design first. Now, of course, originally I was planning to use a mix of like gray, dark gray, grays, and purple for his main color scheme, but I went for his more G1 color schemes, like amped to all the way to 10. Of course, I have to keep it original. I made his skin a darker color as a reference to another controversial character design that I kind of gave him. Of course, you already noticed the elephant in the room, but I gave him locks. I don't know if that's like a character assassination or not, but it's like my original, I wanted to add originality to my design, and that's what I did, so I gave him locks. I think his locks look pretty, but that's just me. I'm not sure how anyone else would feel about it. I don't know why I said pretty, that's embarrassing. But yeah, of course, during this whole creative process, my laptop did crash and shut down on me while I was recording, and I had to redo some effects again. As you saw with that, quick flash of just saying that it died and stuff, so yeah, I had to continue from there. But aside from that, I had to finish his accessories, and yeah, I think I finished the tyrannical leader of the Decepticons really well. With that being said, here's Megatron. Introducing Megatron, the leader of the Decepticons. Thought to be offline, the tyrannical leader returns to destroy all who oppose him. Megatron represents the essence of force and dictatorship through means of stopping at nothing to ensure the Decepticon cause. No matter the odds against their cause, he ensures that all will remember the true determination of a true Cybertronians. Find yourself in his way, and you will taste the true power of a Decepticon. Rebuilt from the debris of the war, Megatron assembles a team of 5 to follow as he sets his target on a planet that holds the secrets of restoring their home, Cybertron, and destroying the Autobots once and for all. No leader is truly invincible unless you've come equipped with the firepower of your own. Megatron repurposes D-16's old signature weapons from the old battles of Kaon. Reforged in Energon, his mace and sword are now the children of a broken dream. Ripped from the corpse of Alpha Trion, Megatron obtained the key to Vector Sigma to create his army of loyal followers. And that about does it for Megatron. I think I did really well. There was hints that I did rush this project a bit, and I mean, with the fact that I was kind of in a hurry and I had to get this video out, it's like, bleh. But yeah, I think I did good on Megatron. Whew! Well, if you've made it this far into the video, then congratulations! I think I've been a little, engaging, but I don't know, that's assuming this video ever gets views at all. But if you've made it this far, thanks for tuning in if you did. I've enjoyed this challenge, and I mean, of course I'm happy it's coming to a close, but I'm also sad it's coming to a close. But basically I'm just happy that this event is, coming to an end. And it's gonna end on my Instagram. It's not gonna be on YouTube, of course. If you want to, tune into that, then follow my Instagram. And yeah, keep yourself updated with the stuff that I post, because posted there is content you most likely will not find on YouTube. I don't know when the event date is due, but just stick around and I'll happily announce it. And as for Optimus and Megatron, their post will be posted separately on Instagram. That way you guys can get like a very good look at them, on the app. Be sure to follow my Instagram if you want to, be up to date with the events ending. Anyways, I'm out of here. Not sure like how long I'll, be. And of course the 2 parts of Optimus and Megatron will be posted separately on YouTube as well. For if you want to vibe to the music and such. And basically just have like those videos in the background, really. Anyway, that's it for me. Thank you for tuning in if you did, and I'll see you next time. Peace!